Greetings and welcome to the video series on outsourcing your traffic department. In this video series, you'll learn how to outsource your traffic generation tasks and get thousands of visitors to your websites. Now, if you know about traffic generation and you run a business, you know that traffic generation tends to take a lot of time. That's where outsourcing your traffic department comes in. Now, when you begin to outsource your traffic, do be aware that you do need to invest some money. Now, that doesn't mean you have to invest thousands and thousands of dollars. You can actually invest here $10, here $20, $30 here and there. So it can add up to $1,000, but to begin, you really don't need all of that amount of money. And I've actually created this video series to keep in mind that we want to keep our costs as low as possible. Now, before I get started, I want to show you what videos we'll actually be talking about in this video series. As you can see here, we have about 6 different videos. Right now we are in the introduction, and I'll talk a little bit more after I go through this list here. Now, in video 2, I'll be talking about social bookmarking. Now, if you don't know what social bookmarking is, it's a method or the ability for internet users to store and organize bookmarks of web pages on the internet. And what happens is those bookmarks are made available to the public. So let's say, for example, that you're a math teacher and you find 10 to 20 different sites that will help you teach math better or help you increase your teaching skills. So let's say, for example, that other math teachers come along and they find your social bookmarks in the public area. And when they see that, they say, I could also use these websites too. And, the list goes on and on and on. So this is a great way to drive traffic to your website. And in video 3, we're going to talk about press release marketing. Now, if you're not using press releases to market your product, market your website, then you're losing out big time. Press releases allow you to build link backs from thousands of news sites or thousands of different sites. Now, submitting one press release can get you hundreds and hundreds of links back to your site. And a lot of times, these are just one-way links, which is great. So it can increase your search engine ranking very, very quickly. In fact, when I use press release marketing, I had the ability to submit press releases to certain sites, and within a few hours, I was already indexed in Google and ranked top 20. And within a day, I was already top 10. So press release marketing is great, and I'll show you how to find people to write your press releases if you don't know how to write them, and how to find people to submit them. Because submitting them is a very tedious process, or submitting articles or anything like that. In fact, in video 4, I'll be talking about article submissions, or article marketing, how you can outsource that department. And in video 5, we'll talk about blog creation. As you know, blogs generate lots of traffic. But the only problem is that blogs tend to be very time consuming to create, then to populate, because you have to constantly create blog posts. So I'll show you how to find people to do that for you, and we'll also be talking about blog comments. Blog comments is a way to drive traffic to your site, your website, but we'll use it in this sense to drive it back to the blogs. In video 6, we'll talk about social networking and Web 2.0 stuff, which is another great way to generate traffic. Now, before I want to go to video 2, I'd like to talk about 2 different things. Before you actually begin to jump on the bandwagon as to outsourcing your traffic department, you really need to know what type of traffic you want to outsource. While all of the methods that I'll be showing you create really great traffic, I want you to really focus on brainstorming before you actually jump in, because what happens is I see a lot of people jump in, they begin to invest lots of money, and then they end up losing more money and not generating as much traffic as they planned on doing so in the beginning. So know what type of traffic you really want to outsource. So what I want you to do is look at your business, look at where it stands. For example, say you are releasing a new product. Press releases would be great for that reason, because press releases are more so for news purposes. So if you have something that is being released, then if you release press releases, then the news gets out. Because think of news, press releases, very similar things. So that's one thing you could think about. Article submissions, article marketing. Where could you place that in your business? Blog creation. How could you use different blogs? If you're in affiliate marketing, how could you get people to create blogs on different niches? Or social networking, social bookmarking. How can all of these things play in your business? So what I'm trying to get you to do is think ahead of time, plan ahead of time before you actually jump in. If you do that, I guarantee you that planning ahead will save you time, save you money, and you'll know how to protect yourself.